This episode of Hey Han is brought to you by DeMonchi. Just in time for the 4th of July, DeMonchi is offering 35% off of their hair care products over at DeMonchi.com, and you can use my code HANNAH10 at the checkout to save a little extra. DeMonchi is vegan, cruelty-free, and a necessity. Hey, hello, how are you? Welcome back to Hey Han. I'm your host, Hannah Fletcher, and joining me today, I have Drew and Deison Afualo. So stick around and stay tuned as I got to meet these wonderful creators and interview them at VidCon. Deison with me. I am so excited to meet you.
Me too. Oh I love your dress.
Thank you. I love your dress too. I just talked to Drew.
Yeah.
So first of all, I want to talk to you. Like, how has your content journey been for you, and how did everything get started with you? I love watching you and your sister. You guys are great.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. I mean, well, we started Two Idiot Girls before I even really started a platform. It wasn't until I went to VidCon last year where my sister was like, "I feel like you should make funny videos," and so I started doing like they're called Nepo Baby vlogs because my sister built a platform, I get to also have one. And so it's just me getting to go to fun events and stuff with her because of the platform she's built, and they're just me being silly and having fun. But it's been really fun, especially being able to talk about being queer and different things like that, and being someone, there's not a lot of queer women in media, so it's just been really fun overall. Yeah,
that's awesome. So talk to me a little bit about like what was your aha moment when you realized, hey, I made it,
on my platform? I think the first time I ever got recognized, like I've watched my sister get recognized a billion times, and so I like went to Target by myself, and this girl recognized me. She was like, "Oh, I watched Two Idiot Girls," and it wasn't that big at the time, and I was like, "What?" Like, oh my gosh. And she was like telling me how much the podcast meant to her, and I was like, "What the heck?" Even like DMs I get, I'm like, this is crazy of how nice people are and how much what we do, and it's just us being silly and like sharing our lives. So I don't know, I guess that was it. Yeah, probably the first time I got recognized, I was like, "What the heck? This is crazy."
That's adorable. Oh, I love that. I love the fact that like you're getting such positive DMs, and the fact that you're able, like you said, to represent such an underrepresented community like that. I know that you also had the opportunity. You moderated, right?
Yeah, I did a panel this morning.
Yeah. What was that like for you to have that opportunity?
Oh my gosh, I was so scared. Well, I wasn't nervous honestly until I got on the stage, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like looking around, especially to do it with like Mercury Stardust was on my panel, and I have loved her content forever. And I think she's just so inspirational and amazing. So to get to share a stage with her and ask her questions was really fun. And it had like Mama Ta on there too. Like she's one of
Mama Ta.
It's so funny. I had never seen her content. My mom showed her to me, and she reminds me so much of my mom. So my mom got to meet her, and it was really cute. There was another creator on there named Kat Black. She's amazing too. So it was really nerve-wracking, but it was overall really, really fun and exciting, and I really loved it.
That's amazing. Well, I think that's such a huge honor, especially for you kind of being a little bit newer to the whole space.
No, exactly. Yeah.
That's so fantastic. So what have you noticed with working with ViralNation? It's a great company. What has that opportunity been like for you working with a company like ViralNation?
Yeah, I mean, my family, we are so in love with my agent Alex. Like she just goes above, her and our manager felt like they truly just go above and beyond to make sure like they know how important our family is to us. So they go above and beyond and more to make sure everyone is included and in the loop. And ViralNation just all in all has really allowed me to figure out what I'm doing, and it doesn't matter how small my platform is compared to like my sisters or whoever else is signed by ViralNation. They treat us all exactly the same.
Great.
And I just feel really grateful to be represented by such a great company. Yeah,
that's amazing. And you mentioned that you're super family oriented, which it's very obvious to see that on the internet, and I love that so much because again, I don't feel like we see a lot of that.
No, yeah.
I mean, other than like the Kardashians.
Well, the D'Amelios were first. I'll give them that.
Yeah, absolutely. So what is that like, being able to kind of find that balance and keep your family kind of at your center? What have you noticed kind of navigating through that?
Sure. I mean, my sister's gone through everything first, and I'm still kind of baby stepping my way through it. And I think like we've just been such a rock and like a source of like grounding to our my sister. So my family just does the exact same thing for me, and same for Peely and everything like that. And it's just been really fun getting to take us to go to do like different opportunities. Like I never would have thought I could go to a movie premiere or like, do you know what I mean? Like, or even VidCon. I grew up like in Southern California. Like I'd always wanted to go. So, and then last year I got to come as a guest of my sister, and then this year to be able to be on a stage. It's crazy.
It's so neat.
Yeah.
I mean, I just feel like, divine timing, and here you are.
Yeah.
Well, I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being so inspirational. Thank you for being authentic.
Thank you.
That's one thing that I've noticed about everybody here at Viral Nation. Everybody's very authentic and just great people. So
Thank you so much.
thank you for your time.
Of course.
Congratulations
Thank you.
and keep killing it.
Thank you, girl.
Thank you. Thank you so much to Deison for speaking with me. And up next, we have Drew. I have Drew joining me today. Thank you so much. So, Drew, tell us about how your content creation got started. I love the types of videos that you make, defeating the patriarchy. Tell me how you kind of came into that.
Well, in 2019 to 2020, I was working at the NFL. Got fired. And then I had a lot of free time on my hands because the pandemic hit like 2 weeks later. And my boyfriend encouraged me to start posting on TikTok. And I like to make people laugh. I like to tell stories. I could talk to a sandwich for an hour, so I figured, why not? Let's try it. And I kind of just started telling silly stories, and that kind of led into me talking about men that I was mean to when I was younger and unhinged. And then it just kind of snowballed into this huge, almost crusade against awful men. And I'm grateful for it. It's worked out.
Yeah, definitely.
That's kind of how it happens.
Well, I love it because I feel like you're extremely authentic and you say everything that the girls want to be able to say and like wish that they could, you know?
Yeah.
So you also have a great podcast that you get to host with your sister. Talk to me about how that kind of came to fruition and what that process has been like hosting the podcast with her.
Sure, yeah. Well, we actually started it before I became a content creator. We just kind of wanted to tell stories, and we have such a like close and hilarious, in my opinion, dynamic. So we wanted to just be able to tell stories and kind of like be funny and silly and creative, and that's kind of how it started. And then my platform really grew, and then you know we were still doing the podcast, and then I got my show, The Comment Section, and now I have 2 podcasts, which is so incredible. And you know, my sister is just as funny as me, just as amazing as me. Like, I adore her, and I think she's the funniest person besides myself on planet Earth. So I'm just really grateful and happy that I get to like do something creative and also like literally run a business together. It's been amazing.
Yeah. What was like your aha moment, or did you ever have a fan encounter that was super crazy where you were like, oh my gosh, my life is not normal?
I think it was just watching the numbers grow so quickly was kind of where I was like, okay, period. I think once I started meeting people in real life, like people would recognize me when I went places. The very first time I ever got recognized was at Disneyland. And that was like so new for me. I had never, I don't know why people care about me at the time, especially. So that was kind of where I was like, oh, I think this is kind of like a thing. Like, who knows? Like, I guess we'll see what happens. And turns out it is a thing.
Yeah, so. Big thing.
Yeah.
And then finally, I want to ask you, so obviously you've had the opportunity to work with Viral Nation and you've been with them and you're like huge with them. What has that opportunity been like, getting to work with such a company like that?
It's been wonderful. I'm so grateful. They were like the first agency I ever signed with, and my agent Alex is just the best person ever. Like, her and I are so close, but more importantly, she cares for me outside of being a creator. She cares about me as a person, and I feel like that's a huge part of what makes you successful as a creator, especially in this Black Mirror business. Like, this industry is so meta and so different. So Viral Nation has been incredible in supporting me and like all my business ventures, and Alex is just a vital part of my business and why it does so well. Like, I'm so grateful for her and my manager Phil, who works at Whaler. I'm just so grateful for both of them. They're like the genesis of all my success. I'm so grateful for them.
I love that. You have a great team.
Yes, I do.
Awesome.
Amen.
Well, thank you so much for speaking with me and for
course.
speaking with us, and congrats on all your success. Keep killing it, girl. You're
Thank
doing
you
great.
so much.
Thank
you.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to check out all of the other interviews with Gary Anthony Williams, Nick Ray, and Morgan Presley that are pre-existing for this particular season of Hey Han. Thank you again to Viral Nation and to Drew and Deison for speaking with me at VidCon. VidCon was amazing, you guys. I highly recommend that if you've never been in attendance, to make it a bucket list goal to attend VidCon at least once in your lifetime. It's a very fun convention. To my audience, here is your challenge. Make sure that you guys are facing everything head on, but make sure that you're breaking everything down as much as you can for yourself. Don't find yourself getting overwhelmed, but try to give yourself a to-do list or something in order to strategize. For me, I typically get overwhelmed in my head, and as soon as I write things down out on paper, it is so much easier for me. So make sure that you guys are really just taking control, getting out of your head what you need to and putting it on paper in order to compartmentalize. I promise you this is a good tactic and it will help you get through your day-to-day activities. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're listening on one of our auditory platforms, thank you again for listening, and we really appreciate your listening. If you're watching on one of our viewing platforms like YouTube or Roku, thank you for watching. Make sure that you go ahead and leave a review on this podcast in any way, shape, or form if possible. Leave a comment. Let us know what you guys would like to see, who you would like to see, and let us know what you guys are liking in terms of Hey Han. Again, I'm Hannah Fletcher. Thank you guys so much for your time, and I will see you next week on Hey Han. Bye, everyone.